Welcome to another episode of the Terri and Frank Show. I hope you've been tuning in. We've been doing the human factors of leadership, and there is a surprise inside every video. I think you're going to really like these. They're great learning and discussions. I'm Frank Warner. I'm the founder of People Productive. We help companies and the people that work for them thrive together. Ter?
Hello, my name is Terry Mays, and I'm a certified culture engineer with focus on understanding the human side of business to drive value in organization.
Absolutely. It's all about value. The battleground of this era is talent. It is talent creating the value. So these are super important lessons. And, culture engineers know how to create value and create environments where people give their best. It's the most effective use of people. And that's what every
Yes,
company should be striving for. So we have
yes,
something interesting. We promised you a surprise. And today we're going to look at some lessons in leadership and innovation. Tara?
yes. I think this one is going to be a lot of fun. So, this one, the video is not very serious at all. It is actually very funny. So, we hope you enjoy it. But there are some really good leadership lessons that can be learned from this video, as well as some lessons about innovation. And we'll get into that a little bit after the video, and we'll kind of stop in between and have a little bit of discussion as well.
Yep. And the video is going to start with somebody taking risk. So
Yes,
let me share my screen and maybe we get right into it. Tara, what do you think?
I like it.
Okay. Here we go. Leadership lessons from the dancing guy.
If you've learned a lot about leadership and making a movement, then let's watch a movement happen start to finish in under 3 minutes and dissect some lessons. First, of course, a leader needs the guts to stand alone and look ridiculous. But what he's doing is so simple, it's almost instructional. This is key. You must be easy to follow. Now here comes the first follower with a crucial role. He publicly shows everyone else how to follow. Notice how the leader embraces him as an equal. So it's not about the leader anymore. It's about them, plural. Notice how he's calling to his friends to join in. So it takes guts to be a first follower.
All right. So let me stop share here. So Terry, what'd you take away from that? It's some important lessons, right?
Yeah. So, besides the awesome dancing, it's actually really cool to see how this guy, the first guy that's the leader, he's doing something really crazy, right? So, he's taking this big risk.
Yep.
He's standing up, he's dancing, he's got no shirt on. I mean, he's just going for it. And in a lot of ways, we find ourselves in this situation at work where we really do have to stand up and go for something that may seem a little crazy at first. It may seem like, as she lost her mind, is she off her rocker? But, this guy is being vulnerable and he's really feeling confident in himself. You could tell he didn't really care who was looking at him. He had lots of confidence and high self-esteem. So he's standing there and he starts to own it. He's just really standing there having a good time. And so I
Yep.
think this really teaches us that it's okay sometimes to stand out and to do things that may seem a little crazy. You can get people on board with you and help you to push your ideas. Just like this guy, he didn't verbally say anything to anybody. He just kind of was having a party all by himself. And then somebody else saw the party and they wanted to join in.
Yeah, he really is. He is fearless. He gets up. He
Yeah,
takes what really is a big risk because that's pretty goofy. And he's one of these people who's confident. He's not looking around like, where are the rest of the people? What's happening, right?
right.
So he didn't flame out and quit because no one showed up right away. He said, "Hey, I think this is fun. I'm going to do it, and I'm going to get other people to join in."
Yeah. I think that's a really good point is sometimes when you're an early starter, you have to go it and you have to go it alone, but
Yeah.
keep with it. Don't give up and quit just because people don't really see the benefit in what you're doing. Because as you get more followers, then people start to see the picture. Sometimes it takes folks a little bit longer to see. When you're a visionary, you see things pretty quickly and you can see further down the road than most people. But don't be afraid to keep being a visionary and keep seeing those things wait for, you do have to wait though for people to catch up with you.
Yeah, don't assume that it's a wacky idea. It might just
Yeah,
be something that other people haven't seen or thought of.
right, right.
May really be onto something. And that first
Yeah,
follower, as the guy says in the video, and these videos are all on YouTube, so you can go watch the whole thing on your own anytime. You can use this as a leadership lesson that you want to, talk about in your own organization. These are valuable. But this follower is coming in, and the first follower is the most important because now he's confirming that this is not a crazy idea. Actually, there's
right,
some merit to this.
right.
That matters. That really matters.
Absolutely.
So should we go back and see what happens?
I think we should. Let's see the rest of the movement.
Let's go back and watch some really good dancing. Come on. Okay, here it is.
You stand out and you brave ridicule yourself. Being a first follower is an underappreciated form of leadership. The first follower transforms a lone nut into a leader. If the leader is the flint, the first follower is the spark that really makes the fire. Now here's the second follower. This is a turning point. It's proof the first has done well. Now it's not a lone nut and it's not two nuts. Three is a crowd and a crowd is news. A movement must be public. Make sure outsiders see more than just the leader. Everyone needs to see the followers because new followers emulate followers, not the leader. Now here come two more people, then three more immediately. Now we've got momentum. This is the tipping point, and now we have a movement. As more people jump in, it's no longer risky. If they were on the fence before, there's no reason not to join in now. They won't stand out, they won't be ridiculed, and they will be part of the in crowd if they hurry. And over the next minute, you'll see the rest who prefer to stay part of the crowd, because eventually they'd be ridiculed for not joining. And ladies and gentlemen, that is how a movement is made.
So there we go. That's how a movement is made. And very interesting how, some people, they're late to the party, right? They want everybody in
Mhm.
before they actually join in. So it picks up momentum very quickly. It's almost like that crossing the chasm theory on the market, right? Early
Yeah,
adopters. This is true of
right,
everything.
right.
You have innovators up front who's the dancer, and then the early adopter is the first and second guy that come in. Then you get the early majority, and then you get the whole mainstream comes in, floods in. You could see it happening, and that's the way product marketing works. That's what's happening here. I think that's a fascinating study in the whole psychology and the fact you should be patient when you have a good idea and you want people to join in because you're probably not crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it also speaks to in organizations, there's always those people that are influencers that don't have their names in a box on
Yeah.
an org chart. It's not necessarily the person that's the team manager or the division manager, department manager. Most times it's somebody that's sitting in an office.
Right on. Today more than ever, it
Yeah,
is the guy on the floor with the crazy idea who's working on software all night or something, right?
yeah, it's that person that, they're just listed on the org chart. They don't have a title, but
Mhm.
everybody knows that they are the leader and people follow them. So if you want to make any kind of changes, if you want to introduce anything new at all, you want to get those people on board first because they can help evangelize for you. They can help spread the word. They can make people feel comfortable to say, yes, it's okay to embrace this change. Once they validate that the change
Mhm.
is something we should do, they'll make it easier for you if you
Yes.
can get those people on board.
And there is another side to this, which is nobody joins in,
Yeah,
and the right amount of time to promote an idea. And you do eventually have to say, hey, this really isn't getting any traction. I think that I'm going to fade away here. I'll pursue something else.
right. You
We didn't
don't want
see
to
that side of it.
keep beating a dead horse. The horse is
Yeah,
dead. Leave him alone.
yeah, absolutely. So as leaders, encourage people to stand out. Encourage people to, all ideas are good ideas. Not all ideas are valuable. That's the only difference, right? When you're in a business, the ideas actually have to be desirable, they have to be valuable, they got to be feasible. And if you have those characteristics, then it is a good idea. This guy happened to have something desirable, looked a little wacky, but it was desirable, it was feasible, anybody could do it. And for that moment in time, it had value to those people. They all had fun.
Right.
So it worked
Right.
out.
It worked out.
It
He
worked out.
wasn't just a nut after all.
Guy White really wasn't a nut. But I think that was a very, very good leadership lesson on rewarding that followership, the people who are willing to step out, even when somebody's out on the ledge, seemingly doing something that's, really unacceptable. Because sometimes they're onto something big and you got to let these ideas blossom a little. And that's a type of culture and organization everybody should strive for. This type of followership, willingness to take a risk. They always talk about that in companies. That guy was willing to take a risk
Right.
to do
Right.
something.
And he was in an environment where he felt safe enough to do it. Right.
Oh,
So, in order to take that kind of risk, you've got to be in a safe environment, in a culture that is open to people making these kinds of, just bold declarations. Is what he did. He went out with no shirt and he made a really big statement. But in order to do that, you have to have, in a work environment, you have to have a culture that's safe, where people feel like they can be themselves, they can be authentic,
mhm.
that people around them care about them, that they genuinely care. So we've
Yeah.
talked a lot about the unproductive types as well as some productive types in the workplace.
Mhm.
So all of those things play together. And we've talked about this before about
Yeah.
how these videos are all intertwined. You can't really just take one without the other. They
Yeah.
really are great lessons to help you understand how culture in a workplace is built or broken by how the leadership leads. So these things really are great tools that you can use. And we hope that they are helping you, that they are giving you some things to think about to become a better leader.
Yeah. So, please share this with other people who would enjoy a little bit of entertainment basically while they're also getting a lesson.
Yes,
That's what this is about.
yes,
Learning can be fun too.
absolutely.
So, listen, as you know, these are a surprise. We can't tell you what's in the video. You have to tune in to see what secret and what fun is going to be trapped inside the next episode. So please subscribe so you get notified. There's a whole series on the human factors of leadership. If you missed Belonging for Everyone or People Unproductive, I think those are really fun too. You should take a look at
Yes,
good series. Naturally, having Terri as my co-host here has made these videos super. So thank you, Terri.
yes. Thank you for including me. This has been a really good experience.
It's a good journey, right?
Yeah.
Well, folks, till next week, we wish you all the best. It's like Cracker Jack, surprise inside. See what's in the box next week.
All right. We'll see you next week.
Take care. See you next week. Bye.